Hey guys, and welcome back to our channel. I am Donnie.
And I'm Aubrey.
And we are two Americans currently living in Germany and sharing all of our experiences living and traveling throughout Europe.
So a couple of nights ago, we made our way over to Prague. And this has been one of the places we have been really excited about going to and wanting to go to before it gets super touristy again. So yesterday was our first full day here, and there were quite a few things that really surprised us about Prague.
Prague is one of those places that we've heard a lot of different things from different people who have been here. So we had some expectations. Some things have met our expectations, and some things have really taken us by surprise. So today we're gonna go walk around, tour Prague a little bit, show you some of the sights, and along the way, share with you some of those things that have been kind of surprising. So follow along and let's go see what we can find. So real quick to catch you up to where we are now. Yesterday was our first full day, and we did a lot of our day in the Jewish quarter. Prague is one of the most amazing Jewish quarters in all of Europe. So we did tours just throughout that area, going to different synagogues, former synagogues that are now museums, and also the Jewish graveyard. We also just walked all over the city trying to orient ourselves with the city here, and then we ended our night by doing a river dinner cruise. It was about 3 hours long. It was an incredible thing to do, just getting to enjoy slowly going down the river, taking in the beautiful city at night and at sunset, and enjoying a meal with live music. And that now brings us to our first surprise of Prague, and that is this very erroneous idea that a lot of people have of Eastern Europe, that once you get into former communist countries, it is very gray and cold and dark and not very pretty. But that is so wrong, especially when it comes to Prague. A lot of Prague was built to mimic Paris, so you have a very Parisian feel, and we've been very surprised at how ornate and fancy it feels everywhere. Almost every building has a lot of character to it. There are a few pieces of communist era construction that we have found here and there and some different art pieces, but overall, even we have been a little bit surprised at just how beautiful it is, just because we had some of that idea that a lot of people also share, that once you get past the old Iron Curtain, things are not going to be as beautiful, and that is just totally wrong, and Prague is a great example of that. So for the first thing that we're doing today, we've come up to the Prague Castle because we're gonna be checking out the changing of the guard ceremony up here. We will be coming back up here later this afternoon to actually do a free walking tour. All of you guys know we love a free walking tour to actually get the history of this area, but we wanted to catch the changing of the guard at noon today, so that is why we come up here already. But a surprising thing that was not on our original list of surprising things are the views from up here of the city and the river down below. It is spectacular to see.
Our next surprise was what a good value you can get for things here in Prague. We had heard that Prague is relatively inexpensive compared to a lot of other European cities, but we still were surprised by a lot of the things that we were able to do that felt really nice, but were really a great value. This was especially surprising to us coming from Germany, which is right across the border, that as soon as we crossed into that border, things were so much less expensive.
Yeah, there are certain things like even like water bottles. Like we got a water bottle for 25 cents from the grocery store. And you can of course go and get it from more touristy spaces and they're gonna charge you a lot more because you're a tourist. But if you go to like grocery stores and stuff, yeah, water bottles, 25 cents. So we just stopped to take a little break to have a Trdelník, and I'm having one with ice cream and Nutella. So a Trdelník is a little pastry that's covered with sugar, and it's a chimney pastry, so it's like a hollow ring. And while we're doing this very touristy thing, we've been told this is an extremely touristy thing to do, we did want to mention one of the surprises for us. We knew that Prague was a very touristy town. Don't get us wrong, we knew a lot of people travel here, a lot of tourists come. However, we were not expecting it to be as touristy as it is, as silly as that sounds. But really it feels like every single shop is set up for tourists in the inner city, in the old city. Everywhere you go, it's the cheap little trinkets, all those types of souvenirs, and it kind of detracts a little bit for us. We've also been told from multiple different tour guides and hotels and stuff, this is about 20 to 25% of the normal tourism. There normally is a lot more people, but of course people can't travel right now. But yeah, it's one thing that we weren't really expecting was just how almost amusement park-like it feels in some parts, where it's basically just set up for entertainment of tourists. And one thing we always say is like the touristy places, we always see why they are touristy because they are so amazing. So definitely it's spectacular, and that's why it's drawing all those tourists. It's just, you know, one of those things that comes with a beautiful place, I guess.
This is really good. I got the one with Nutella and whipped cream. Highly recommend. Do I eat the whipped cream out? You want to tear it? I just...
I don't think there's any clean way of eating one of these, but far superior than a waffle cone for ice cream.
Something you may not know about us is that whenever we were just really wanting to move to Europe and to live over here, an option that we were pretty set on doing before I found my current job was teaching English over here. And we had heard that Prague was the place to come teach English because there wasn't as much English spoken in the Czech Republic. So we were pretty set on that. And so because of that, we came in with the assumption that there really wouldn't be a ton of English spoken, or it might be a little more difficult to communicate over here without speaking Czech. But we have been pleasantly surprised that English has been very widely spoken. It may just be because it's a very touristy city, but that was one thing that really surprised us. So our job outlook may not have been very good here.
So where we're at right now is the Jewish quarter again, and today you can see that it is almost completely dead, whereas yesterday it was packed full of people. But guess what? It is Saturday, so it is the Sabbath, so everything here is shut down and there's like nobody here at all. So one of those things not really surprised by because it's the Sabbath, but it is interesting how yesterday it was so crowded with tons and tons of people, and then today it is completely empty. right now has a really cool initiative to try to encourage tourism back into the city. That they have like a point system that if you stay at certain hotels for a certain amount of nights, you will get assigned points that you can use at tourist attractions. It's a great deal, and we've gotten to use a little bit. One thing that we got to use a point on was to go inside the old town hall. This has the famous astronomical clock that Prague is world famous for, and we just had to use 1 point, and we're going up to the very top of the tower, and we're going to get an amazing view of the main square down below for free because of this really cool initiative. If you're hoping to cash in on this initiative, it only goes until August 31st this year. Maybe they'll do it again in the future, but as of right now, if you want to do it, time's kind of running out, unfortunately, but otherwise, you'll get to see maybe if it's worth it if you want to come and pay for it yourselves. Really excited. We're just waiting for the light here to turn green to let us know that we can take our turn up to the top.
This is a great view.
Especially when it's free.
Yeah, free makes it way better too.
Are you scared of the heights up here?
Of course I am.
Why?
I don't want to see directly below me. I like to see everything.
You can see there's some like rooftop bars that look like you would have no idea they existed unless you came up here and saw. I'm sure there's signs down below that tell you that they're there, but look, you can get some incredible views of dinner too from up there.
So that was just a quick look at our weekend here in Prague and our run through of our things that surprised us. Overall, we really enjoyed Prague. I would highly recommend it. It's a really great city, but lots of surprises for us.
I wouldn't say any of these are like groundbreaking surprises, of course, but it's just interesting whenever we hear so much about these places that people go to and then we finally get to experience it for ourselves. There's sometimes just things that we don't expect just purely because of the things that we personally were told. So if you've been here, let us know in the comments, what were your experiences in Prague? And if you know of any other places that we should go visit in Eastern Europe, leave those in the comments as well. We would love to check out a lot more of this side of Europe. Thanks so much for watching this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to hit that like and subscribe buttons, and we will see you in our next video.
Cheers!
And that now brings us to today and where we are now. And no, wait, that's what I want to say. And that now brings us to our of Prague, and that is this idea.
Are you going to talk about our walking tours? A ton of English spoken? So because of that, we came in with the assumption that
In all of Europe. What? A bug is on you? Okay.